Following immediately are the news, weather, sports, and the full-length musical The Singing Marine, co-starring Dick Powell, Doris Weston, and Alan Jenkins.
Luby Chevrolet, making news wherever cars are sold. In Boston, New York, Baltimore, and Miami presents Ralph Renick and the 11 o'clock news.
The Senate tonight has passed the right to vote measure in the Civil Rights Bill. From left to right, Senators Russell and Mahoney, who voted against the bill, and Senators Johnson, Noland, and Anderson, who supported the measure. The watered-down bill, designed to protect Negro voting rights, passed by a 72 to 18 vote. It now goes to the House, where another skirmish looms over the controversial jury trial amendment. Incidentally, Florida senators in tonight's vote apparently canceled out each other. Senators Holland and Smathers agreed the bill was improved. Holland voted against it. Smathers voted for it. And now, here's Jim Ward for Luby Chevrolet.
Luby makes news, big news, to everyone interested in owning a brand new 1958 Chevrolet. Because Luby, and only Luby, offers you a chance to be among the first to own a new 58 Chevrolet. The price, only $99 plus freight, federal excise, and local taxes. Yes, only Luby can do it, and here's how. Buy your 1957 Chevrolet now during Luby's big 19th anniversary sale. Then, model for model, style for style, equipment for equipment, Luby will trade that 57 Chevrolet for a brand new 58 model for only $99 plus freight and taxes, and the deal is guaranteed in writing. Yes, it's amazing, but it's true, and only Luby can do it. It's like getting two new cars for the price of one. Or if you're a bargain hunter, go to Luby now during their 19th anniversary sale. They're clearing house of all remaining 57 Chevrolets at year-end discount prices. You'll never get a better deal than you will tomorrow at Luby Chevrolet, 1055 West Flagler Street. And now here's Ralph Renick with the news.
A Soviet intelligence agent has been indicted as a spy. Flanked by two FBI men, Colonel Rudolph Abel arrives today for arraignment in New York City. He is the highest Soviet official ever to be charged with spying in the United States. There he is in the center of your screen. The 53-year-old cloak and dagger veteran is accused of masterminding an espionage ring which radioed military secrets to Russia from an office opposite New York's federal court. If convicted, he faces death in the electric chair. Soviet boss Khrushchev gets the cold shoulder today. In the center, with his hand on the railing, Khrushchev and other officials waved to the crowd after arriving in East Berlin for talks. But the officially mustered crowds didn't wave back. Not a cheer was heard, and hundreds walked away once the Kremlin boss began speaking. Neil McElroy will be our new defense secretary. The 52-year-old president of Procter & Gamble Soap Company was named to the post by President Eisenhower today. He's seen here during an interview with newsmen. He'll replace Charles Wilson later this month. The president voices hope at his news conference. Mr. Eisenhower gestures as he tells newsmen he has the utmost hope that Russia will agree to the new Western proposals made last week. He says any progress on the open skies inspection plan would be the greatest ray of hope since he's been in the White House. New York labor racketeer Johnny Dio takes the witness stand before Senate investigators tomorrow. They'll question him about his association with Teamsters Union Vice President James Hoffa. One of the great figures of comedy died today. Rotund Oliver Hardy, seen here in 1945 with his partner Stan Laurel, died at North Hollywood, California. He was 65. Hardy had been in poor condition since suffering a stroke last September. Nuclear blast number 11 at Yuccaplex today. The mushroom rises some 35,000 feet in the air, the latest atomic detonation called Stokes. And the tail of a Navy blimp shown with Stokes Cloud in the background in this photo. The blimp was in free flight 5 miles from ground zero, collapsed by the shock wave from the blast. Production of Asiatic flu vaccine is being stepped up. At Indianapolis, a laboratory technician inoculates eggs containing chick embryos with Asian influenza virus. The company hopes to produce about 5 million doses a month by August 15th. An old man with a rifle is making a stand against the United States Army. Military police and U.S. Marshals are trying to get 82-year-old John Prather off his ranch in New Mexico. The Army wants to add it to a missile range, but the old-timer has threatened to shoot anybody who comes into his house. The government tonight figuring out its next move. A Chicago family evicted for having too many children. Mr. and Mrs. Carl McPherson and 5 of their 8 children sit with their belongings in a vacant lot. They have money, furniture, clothing, and food. The landlady says she evicted them because the family was too large for so small a home. The father and son live up to their names. Bill Ditto of Greensboro, North Carolina, is on the right. His father, H.Y. Ditto, is on the left. Bill broke his leg. When Dad ran to help him, he slipped on the curb. You guessed it, Ditto. In this state, the defense says it will end its case tomorrow in the impeachment trial of Miami Circuit Judge George Holt. Federal Judge Emmett Choate took the stand today, described Holt as a man of honor with judicial integrity. Defense attorney Richard Hunt, who paraded character witnesses before the Senate in Tallahassee, says he doesn't know if he'll call Judge and Mrs. Holt to the stand tomorrow. Dade County Commissioners today turned down a request for continued use of county property for an alcoholic rehabilitation center. Ma Green, a pioneer and worked for chronic alcoholics, asked the commission not to tear down the building now being used as a clinic. Commissioners sympathized with her, but refused her request. Ma runs a home for down-and-out derelicts at 66 Northwest 5th Street. She has another home elsewhere in the city. And as you saw on WTVJ tonight, a special program dealing with the problems of alcoholism. An open meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous originated live from our studios. Various aspects of the chronic alcoholic were shown, the shakes which follow a long siege of drinking, the sneak drinker. These were not exaggerations, but depictions of actual cases. Persons in need of AA care are urged to call this number, Franklin 44773. 2 11-year-old Miami boys confessed today they broke into a neighbor's house while he was on vacation, tortured his crippled pet cat to death. A small loan firm has been accused of tying up telephone lines of a Miami insurance company in efforts to collect money from an employee. Domestic Finance Corporation has called the charges ridiculous. And now for Luby Chevrolet, here is Jim Ward.
Luby is celebrating a 19th anniversary, and to get you to join the celebration, Luby is offering you used cars at prices so low, you'll say, I love Luby, and join this great 19th anniversary sale. Here are just a few examples of Luby's used car values. Here's a 1955 Mercury Monterey hardtop coupe, radio, Mercomatic two-tone, white tires, showroom condition throughout, $15.99. And how about this 1953 Ford Custom Line two-door sedan? Radio, two-tone finish, 5 like-new tires, the cleanest in town, only $7.99. These are just a few examples of the many hundreds and many tremendous values available at Luby during the 19th anniversary sale. And there are hundreds more to choose from. So join Luby's 19th anniversary celebration at any one of Luby's 3 value-packed lots at 2480 Northwest 36th Street and 905 and 1950 West Flagler Street. All open daily and Sundays till 10 p.m. Now, more news with Ralph Renick.
The body of a 32-year-old commercial fisherman recovered from Lake Okeechobee today. The victim, Walter Young, was missing since Monday when his 16-foot boat was caught in a squall at the north end of the lake. Tampa streets are waterlogged tonight. While a drought affects parts of the eastern seaboard, Tampa experiences more than 23 inches of rain above normal so far this year. Flooded conditions have affected the city. Officials say an emergency exists. M.A.S. McChrist, the Houston boy millionaire who purchased the 3 Bays line from Arthur Vining Davis, announced in Miami today the signing of a contract for 3 large ships for his line to be built in France. That's the news. Weather to follow. A good night.
11 o'clock news with Ralph Renick, directed by Dick Renick, presented by Luby Chevrolet, makers of cars wherever they're sold in Boston, New York, Baltimore, and Miami.